Hello, welcome to Jade Kind Gaming. My name is Adam, and today I will be unboxing a Pandemic expansion in the lab, which I'm excited to have. My wife and I are quite fans of the board game Pandemic, and have played it, particularly involving components from the expansion On the Brink, a ton. Enough that we also use the cards and figure out like different ways to do things, swapping out your character card every turn, or how many, epidemic cards could we really add to the deck, and whatever. We played it a ton. So getting another expansion with new things to do is exciting, and currently actually proved quite a challenge to get, but I did, and so I have Pandemic in the lab, which we'll take a look at here. So this one does actually add a bit of a limited amount for us because it's 4 new rules, 3 new events. Great. The 3 new ways to play. 1, lab challenge. Yay. Exciting. That's why I got this. Solo game, probably not going to use. Team game, probably not going to use. But I did find out also extend the On the Brink challenges with new virulent strain events or the worldwide panic mutation scenario. So there is some more stuff to also expand on the things from In the Brink as well. So, okay, let's dive in and take a look at In the Lab. We get our rules. Rules are great. Components, wonderful. Overview of the new rules and events. There are a couple new cards that can be added for virulent strain challenge from In the Brink, and new mutation challenge for worldwide panic for In the Brink, which makes it where instead of 12 cubes, there's 24, and things just work a little different. The lab challenge is complex. It basically changes how the diseases are cured. It's not one player gets 5 cards, goes to a research station, and ta-da, it's done. It's a whole process where when you're treating a disease, you get to capture cubes into a petri dish, and then you can go to a research station and do things with those to either single out a certain type of cube or a group of cubes, and then if you want to double the cubes in there, and eventually you have to put them onto cards that you've chosen for this is how we're going to sequence the cure, and you get enough of the right color cubes on those cards, and it still ends up being 5 cards, although one player only necessarily needs 3 of the cards of the same color at the time. So there's some things that are more challenging and some that make it where you don't have to get all the cards onto one player. And then the rules continue for how that challenge works. It's quite a bit. Then we got our solo game and our team game rules. Great. If you want to play that. And then the roles, field director, local liaison, pilot. What is it? When you're doing the lab challenge, you don't use field operative, and the researcher and epidemiologist have different versions of the cards. So, yeah. And of course, we have our new board, because this challenge adds an additional board. So, spots where the cubes are going to be placed when you treat a disease, and then from either one of these, you can move them here and get 1 of each color that's in there. You can move them here and just choose 1 color and return the rest of the supply. If you want to times 2 whatever cubes are there from the supply, you can do that. And then either from here or here, you can put them onto one of the cards where you're actually trying to sequence the cure, as long as you have used a card to determine what kind of cure you're sequencing, and at some point you have to test it before the cure can finally be found. Complex, but we definitely are not going to shy away from a little complexity. Okay. These are the award marker tokens for the team game. So, yeah. So whatever blue cure, blue eradication, virulent cure, first eradication. So yeah, basically, because you're trying to get your awards because you're competing as teams. So I guess that's how you would keep track of that. These little punch out cardboard tokens. Oh wow. These are going to be our cure vials. Can I get these out? Oh, these are tight in here. There we go. Get one out, and that makes the rest easy. So these are quite fancy. And of course, I guess the purple one, if you're not playing with mutation, they seem glassish, but they're probably just a thick plastic. But yeah, so they are the cure vials you can put out, and then I guess flip them over if it's eradicated. But yeah, so blue, red, black, and yellow. So that is very, very fancy. Cards and these ones. Okay. Just quickly look at these first. We get 4 new player tokens, I'm sure, to go with the new roll cards. Very pastel-y kind of colored. Ultimately, my wife and I just always use the same colors regardless of which role we're playing, because it's easier to keep track of. But whatever, when you play with larger groups of people and are changing characters all the time, it's good to use different ones to keep track then. We have an additional, should be 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12 of the purple cubes. Though, felt like it was the case. Pull it out. Not the same purple as the On the Brink game had. Of course, color matching for various components in Pandemic has always been pretty bad, but it's supposed to be the same piece, and it's definitely not. These would be easier probably to differentiate from some of the other colors, like from the blues, but I only have 12 of them. If I'm combining them to do the new version of this, I would still need 24, so I'm still going to have to use the old ones anyways. And we have a trio of new buildings. So, have a few different symbols. They are team research stations, so something for the team game. Okay. If we want to zoom in down here. Had to cut a corner out there to get into this. But, okay, so we have 4 of the revised actions, lab challenge. So, built the research station, which allows you to do 1 lab action. Treat a disease, which lets you put a cube in a sample dish. Discover a cure, describes how that works. 3 city cards. Open a new research line. Share knowledge had no change. And then lab actions. Characterize a disease, process a sample, test a cure, and sequence a disease are all the fun new lab actions that you have to do in order to cure. Let's take a look at our new roll cards. Field Director. You may treat disease in any city connected to the city you're in, and once per turn you may, with permission, move another player's pawn in your city or a city connected to it by drive ferry. Doing this is a free bonus action. Okay. Virologist. So that's when you discover a cure, you may discard 2 city cards of the same color to replace 1 city card of the cure color. And as an action, discard a city card to remove 1 cube of its color from any city, returning it to the supply. Local Liaison. Once during your turn, as an action, you may give a city card that matches the color of the city you are in to a player in any city of the same color. And in Lab Challenge, once per turn at a research station, you may either characterize a disease or test a cure as a free bonus action. Nice. Pilot. You cannot do movement actions, drive ferry or flights, nor build research stations. Ouch. You may, as an action, fly to any city within 3 connections of the city you are in, skipping cities in between. You may, with permission, take 1 other pawn with you. Definitely a better one with a larger group. CDC, used only for the solo game. After infections each turn, you may do 1 action. Epidemiologist, so this is the new version. Once during your turn, you may, with permission, take any city card from a player in the same city with you. Doing this is not an action. And Lab Challenge, once per turn at a research station, you may process a sample as a free bonus action. And Researcher, give any of your city cards when you share knowledge, even if it doesn't match your city, or they can take any city card from you. Lab Challenge, once per turn at a research station, you may sequence a disease as a free bonus action. So just some things with free actions for the Lab Challenge. Nice. Okay, we have new events. Infection Zone Ban. Ignore all chain reaction outbreaks until the player's next turn begins. Put this card in front of this player. That's very specific when that would be useful, but also avoiding something devastating if it is. Treat Disease removes 1 more cube of the same color if present until the player's next turn begins. Alright. Improved sanitation. And Sequencing Breakthrough. Discard 1 fewer city cards than needed to do the next Discover a Cure. Put this card next to the player discard pile, discard it when the next cure. So you can just play that, and it's just whenever it's needed. Nice. We have a couple new Virulent Strain cards to update the On the Brink game. Highly contagious outbreaks, but not chain reaction outbreaks, of the Virulent Strain add 2 cubes to each connected city. If a connected city has 2 or more Virulent Strain cubes, make this 3 cubes and do 1 chain reaction outbreak there. Resistant to treatment until the Virulent Strain is cured. Removing its cubes with Treat Disease takes 2 actions in 1 turn. Discard this card when it's cured. Ouch. The Mutation Worldwide Panic cards that replace the others. So, if a purple disease is not eradicated, draw a card from the bottom of the infection deck and place 2 purple disease cubes only on this city. Yeah. Okay, here we get our... what are these? These are the sequencing cards. So for what you need to... so apparently there is... 1 each of that just needs 4. All must be the same, so 4 cubes of the same color for it. This one, you'd have to determine whether you're curing red or yellow. If you're curing red, obviously these are red, but so would these have to be red. And then 1 yellow. Same kind of thing. So the gray ones have to be whichever color you're curing. If you're curing black with this, then it's 3 blues and 3 blacks. So... oh, and some get quite complex. Quite complex, but it can be used to search for any of the cures. Okay. And those are the ones that seem to be able to cure purple, so thanks. And then, this is our goal cards, I believe team game things. Then we have our bonus cards. I've held at end of game. So again for... oh, and these are put within the normal player deck, I guess. But yeah, some more stuff with the team game. But no, for me, the part that I got this for basically exclusively is the actual like lab challenge. That's the part that I'm like, ooh, a different way to cure things. This does have the same little insert that the On the Brink had, as far as storing stuff, although, like, for example, there aren't the Petri dishes in here. The book says to put the Petri dishes on these spots. Obviously, you don't have to, but you would have to have the On the Brink expansion already in order to even have the Petri dishes to put there. And I don't know if I will, or if I'll just use the circles as the Petri dishes, because usually I leave the Petri dishes with all the cubes that are, you know, still remaining. But yeah, so that is the Pandemic in the Lab expansion. Fun. There's another one that at some point I'm going to try and get, because at this point, we love the Pandemic games. We've liked the spin-offs. There's a Cthulhu one, there's like a rapid response, really quick one, there's, we love The Cure, which is like a dice one. You know, they're very different games even, but same general concepts of teamwork kind of games, and my wife and I quite enjoy playing those. So, yeah, I'll link down below where you can try and find this online. Good luck. It was a bit difficult for me to find it. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.